Long ago, in the realm of King Charles Deam, 3 knights errant came together in a winter wood. These knights ycleped Sir Samuel the Red, Sir Nicholas of the Apiary, and Sir Chadwick Septentrion. And they were not strangers to each other, for ere now they had shared many a great travail and marvelous adventure. 'Twas for one such adventure that they were assembled in the land of King Charles, for they had taken upon them a quest for to seek the finest campsite in all of Christendom. Sir Samuel, Sir Nick, and Sir Chad were knights of mickle might and diverse talent. They had nor squire nor steed, and so they were perforce ingenious in manifold ways, puissant in arms, learned in woodlore and leechcraft, as skilled over the cook fire as in the tournament. Never were 3 knights better made for such a quest. Soon after breaking his fast, Sir Samuel said, "Hearken unto me, brother knights, the morning groweth old. Let us equip ourselves and take to the high road. We shall travel many a weary league this day." And so anon the knights doused their fire, and they donned hauberk and helm. They pulled down their gauntlets and hoised their satchels and took up their pole arms. Also they each of them wore a coif of orange, which livery guaranteed safe passage during the time of the royal hunt. Thus apparelled did the company depart. "'Twas a whilom prosperous land, but the realm of King Charles had fallen into neglect. Of its many famous watchtowers, one only remained. Sir Nick clomb this tower to see if he might descry some sign as to the direction of the finest campsite in Christendom. From the earth Sir Samuel cried, 'What seest thou, Sir Nick?' And Sir Nick replied, 'I see a passing fair land over yon hill, beyond the chapel, toward the flood that marks the northernmost boundary of the kingdom.' And so, quoth Sir Chad, 'our quest hath a direction.' And thus they pursued the course which Sir Nick had espied. Ere long an ill wind began to blow, which wind shook the pines against the pale blue welkin, and caused each knight to cover his visage. "Alas," cried Sir Samuel, "some foul enchanter hath invoked the wrath of Boreas." "'Tis a pestilent wind he exhaleth upon us," said Sir Chadwick. "He would drive us from the realm of King Charles." "Show thyself, recreant wizard," cried Sir Nick. "Come out and have ado with us." "Nay, Sir Nick, a conjurer such as he cannot be overcome through force of arms," said Sir Samuel. "Rather shall I sing thee a song to lift thy spirits." Ere his knighthood, Sir Samuel was known to some as Samuel Strummer, for he was no stranger to the lute and the ballad. And now he summoned a voice like Orpheus, and he regaled his companions with a song.
In the bright shining land of King Charles, bright shining land of King Charles, we go to the castle today.
and with a song lodged in their hearts, the knights searched for the campsite. They searched through a queer wood where the leaves clung to their bewintered limbs. They searched a glade of bone-white trees pendant with woolen orbs. They searched every shadowed dale and every sun-gilt ridgetop, but they could not find the campsite. "'Tis that damned enchanter that keepeth us from the campsite," said Sir Chad. "Perhaps," said Sir Nick, "the campsite is so enchanted as to appear only to the purest of virgins." "Zounds! Then our quest is doomed to fail," lamented Sir Chad. "Peace, brother! Blasphemy becometh you not," said Sir Samuel. "And besides, the chapel is at hand. Let us seek consolation beneath its steepled roof." But lo, the chapel was a crumble. For King Charles was a debauched king, much besotted with drink and venery, and he had neglected the dwelling houses of the Lord. But though the chapel was in ruin, the faith of the knights was not, and so they entered into the place and offered orisons to their heavenly Father. And looking into their hearts, they did perceive that they must need go on. The knights soon reached the end of the Tyrrell high road, and they entered into a wildsome land. 'Twas a country untouched by the foresters of King Charles, and there the knights encountered with a maze of thorns. Sir Nick waxed wroth, and he said unto the other knights, "I mislike this style of travel. Are we knights, or are we base-born knaves doomed to creep among the brambles? 'Twould be far more knightly to find some high road and follow it." And to him Sir Samuel said, "Prithee, Sir Nick, calm thy wrath. We three have passed beyond the edges of any map, and this wilderness lacks all amenity. But though it be of small comfort, heed these words. In sterculiniis invenitur." "Aye," said Sir Chad, "I recall those words from an antique book kept in the abbey. The monks translated it thusly, 'In filth it shall be found.' And if that be true, this muck beneath our boots augurs well." But they searched it into the eve, and still they did not find the campsite. At last they came upon a passing fine place by the edge of the flood, and though it was not the finest campsite in all of Christendom, they perceived that it would serve them well ere they could pursue their quest on the morn.
can't believe it.
So they raised their pavilions and laid out their bedrolls. They kindled a fire and gathered up wood for to make the flames great.
It has a different flavor towards the rind.
They prepared diverse viands, and they brought out a flagon of ale, and they lifted their goblets and wassail.
Cheers.
And, as like many days when these knights of the Satchel came together on the road, there was great revel long into the eve.
If I had that happen at Mammoth Cave, it got my lips, it made my nostrils swell up.
Yeah.
The whole
Firewood piles left a lot to be desired. I know it's hard to complain about the firewood that somebody gives you. It was like buried in the mud. Well,
Yeah.
And on the morn, the steeds of Helios clomb into the firmament and banished the primordial shadow of Nyx. Sir Chad, the morn is nigh. Be not a slug abed, cried Sir Nick. Sir Samuel prepareth your victuals, and I must needs tell you of the prophetic dream I dreamed last night. And then Sir Chad stirred from his pavilion and said, I thank thee, Sir Samuel. As for thee, Sir Nick, let us hear thy dream. Hark, brother knights! For I dreamed last night that I was returned to the chapel. Yet I perceived the place as it were ere it fell into ruin, with many a burning taper and window of colored glass. And as I knelt upon my 2 knees in prayer, a voice spoke unto me with a sound like a clarion. Sir Nicholas, it saith, fear thou not, for thy quest is at an end. Know thou that thy quarry has been with thee all along. For the finest campsite in Christendom is not a fixed location upon the globe. Nay, The finest campsite is only ever that one which you share with Sir Chadwick and Sir Samuel after a day of adventure and travail. And then the voice departed, and I awoke from my slumber. When Sir Nick had finished telling his dream, Sir Chad laughed and said, "We knights errant are errant knights indeed. All this time we search it in vain." "Nay, gentle knight, not in vain," said Sir Samuel, "for we have indeed found the very thing for which we sought." "Forsooth, Sir Samuel, thou speakest like a sage," said Sir Chad. "'Twas a worthy guerdon we found here." "Aye," said Sir Samuel, "even the fairest campsite would be impoverished if it wanted the company of Sir Chadwick and Sir Nicholas." "Aye," said Sir Nick, "and so our quest is at an end. Let us go home." Beyond the Campfire presenteth Knights of the Satchel.
You like my purse?
It's so pretty.
I'm ready for my day in the wilderness.
It's all frosty.
Wherefore art thou beyond the campfire?
Does it turn on for you?
Look at my wood.
Hark! What is this ancient or future witchcraft device I hold before me that captures light and sound? Burn the owner of this at the stake.
This is fun. Robusto. Look at that shot.
How about that peak?
Yummy.
Oh, now I'm getting these balls.
Oh, King Charles! Attention! Attention! Sir Samuel speaketh now. Here at the end of all things, we celebrate the beauty of creation, the beauty of friendship, and the beauty of the reign of King Charles. Long live the king.
York?
Yeah.
They're going to get slammed. Oh, there it is. Gee.